people, dare to be different.
Welcome to Smart People. My name is Selassie Ibrahim. The man on our show today, it's a man of God who has dedicated his life to the welfare of Ghanaians. You'll be surprised he's not a Ghanaian. Just join me as we meet him.
Smart people, dare to be different. Smart people, always be different. Smart people, smart people, smart people, always make a change. Smart people, dare to be different. Smart people, say yes they can. Smart people, know that they can. Smart people, smart people, smart people, always make a change. Smart people, dare to be different.
Hello, Father. I hope I didn't distract you.
No, don't. You're welcome. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Nice coming on our show.
Thank you very much.
I don't need to ask you whether you're a Ghanaian. Where do you come from?
I come from Dublin. I was born there in 1946 on the 27th of March. And I was born to a very happy family, an extremely happy family, very religious family. And we were at church every day. We prayed as a family every day. And when I was a young boy, that's when I felt that desire to become a priest,
Then
a
why
missionary
Ghana?
priest.
Why Ghana?
I always wanted to come to Africa, and the congregation I belonged to, the Divine Word Missionaries, they only worked in Ghana at that time. Now they work in many parts of Africa, but then they only worked in Ghana. So I volunteered, and they gave me my first choice. They could have sent me to India, they could have sent me to the Philippines, but they sent me to Ghana, my first choice, and I've been here ever since. I landed in Tema on the 13th of October, 1971.
The port?
At the port, yes. We came by boat. I came
did?
by boat. It was 13 days on the high seas. I was sick most of the time. So the boat was going up and down, especially through the Bay of Biscay. And here was I as a young priest. I was only 25 when I came out. I was a very young priest. I was 25 because I was ordained when I was 24.
Okay.
And that's an exception because you should be 25 at least. But there were 3 of us in our class that were 24. So they had to get special permission from Rome to ordain us.
Okay.
And then I volunteered to come out, and I came out by boat from Dublin to Liverpool, and Liverpool straight to Ghana. And I've been here ever since.
Smart people, always be different. Smart people, dare to be different.
So you love Ghana very much?
I love it. I
You're
always
more or
dreamt-
less a Ghanaian now. You've been here 40 years.
40 years. And I always used to read about Africa. When I was into primary school, I used to read all about Africa. I used to read of the priests, the missionaries coming to Africa and going on horseback, you know, from village to village and saying mass and preaching. And I always wanted, I felt that the desire. But then when I finished primary school, then I said to Daddy, I want to go to secondary, to go to seminary. He said, there's no money. I said, Daddy, I want to go to secondary, I want to be a priest. He says, I'm sorry, at the age of 13, he says, you'll have to go and work.
Yeah.
So at the age of 13, I went to work. That was, not everybody went to secondary school in those days because it just wasn't the money.
Yeah.
Those who had the money went to secondary, but nobody in my family went to secondary school. So
you had to work at the age 13?
age 13, and I worked.
I'm asking because, you know, we Africans believe that the
Yeah.
white people don't have problems.
Oh, I tell you,
If you are saying because of financial restraint,
yes, we
that you
didn't
couldn't
have
go
it.
to secondary
I
school,
remember going to school.
I'm interested.
I remember going to school in primary school, and I'd have actually holes in my shoes because I couldn't afford new shoes, and I'd put cardboard into my shoes.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'd put cardboard in to keep the rain out. I used to have patches in my trousers because I couldn't afford new trousers. Yeah, things weren't easy. Times were rough then.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy. Everybody sees a white man, they think, oh, he got plenty of money. We didn't.
Exactly.
But the most important thing was, you know, that I had a happy family, very happy and loving family, and this was pulled me through.
Yeah.
So these hardships, you didn't mind. So when I went to work, I worked in a wholesale grocers. It was
13 years.
13 years. 13 years in a wholesale grocery shop. And I worked for the first year on the back of a truck, big truck. And we used to deliver twice a day to shops in Dublin. We used to go all around Dublin, the supermarkets. We deliver things in bulk, cornflakes, oatmeal, all sorts. So after 1 year, I was promoted to the shop. And I was in the shop at 14 years of age, behind the counter.
Isn't that interesting?
Behind the counter. And I'd be selling wholesale cheese and chocolates and sweets and cigarettes and all sorts of things.
For how long did you do that?
That was for 2 years, from the age of 13 to 15.
And after that you went back to school?
And then at 15 I went to the minor seminary over in England.
Okay.
That was like secondary school.
Yeah.
But every holiday I worked. I worked in so many places. I remember when you come home at Christmas, you'd go just find any work to do so it'd help you for the next term. So I worked, I did my secondary in 3 years.
Okay.
From the age of 15 to 18.
Okay.
So it's normally 5, 7 years. I did it in 3.
Why? Because normally it's 5 years.
Yes, we are pushing. I managed to catch up on those that I sort of lost out on. Those who went straight from primary school to.
So do I say that you were very intelligent as a student?
I found it difficult. I wasn't the best of students. I worked hard.
Okay.
I worked hard and I did well. So at the age of 18, I finished the minor seminary, and then I wanted to go to the major seminary, when away from home, away from everybody, and I had no money to buy all my clothing. So I went to work in a supermarket.
Again?
At the age of 18, yeah, in a supermarket. I was sweeping floors.
Again?
Yes, and I was putting food on shelves, all boxes, and I put them all on shelves and sweep the floor at the age of 18. And I was able to buy my suit and able to buy my shirts, and somebody gave me a pair of shoes because I had nobody to turn to.
Yeah.
And I needed 3 black cassocks.
Yeah.
Over there we were black.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the money. So I said, Lord, what am I going to do? I have my shoes, I have my suit. So somebody sent me through the letterbox an anonymous letter. Who it was? To this day I don't know. And they put in a £10 note in that letter. And they said, dear Mr. Campbell, please accept this as my gift to you, that you'll be a holy priest and a good priest. And they gave me this.
Oh, that time £10 was a
That
lot
was
of
a
money.
lot of money.
Yes.
I didn't know where else could I turn to. So I knew from there on, God has blessed me, that I can give my life. I said, God, everything is for you. Everything is for you. So at the age of 18, I went to the seminary, and I was down in the west of Ireland for 3 years, took my vows, did my philosophy, came to Dublin, and started theology.
I've read so much about your country and your town as well.
So I had 4 years in theology, and every holiday we also worked. I worked during the summer long vac. I worked in London as a welder. Yes, I worked as a welder. We got £10 a week.
Oh my Lord!
So we worked in the factory in Woolwich. I'll never forget that.
Woolwich?
In Woolwich. Then the next year we went to Liverpool, and I worked as a nurse for 2 holidays, for 2 long vacations.
Were you trained as a nurse?
I wasn't. I had my white coat. I had all my white coat and white trousers. I worked as a nurse there. And I worked on the first year, I worked in the urological ward. And the second year I was on the emergency, and I loved it.
What were you doing exactly?
I was helping everybody. I was shaving people, I was giving them baths, I was feeding them, especially the old and all those. I was an auxiliary male nurse.
So it was more like care.
Yeah, care. So I mean, the nurses were teaching me everything. They'd help me to do this, that, and the other. I mean, so I was around with them doing the dressings. I was around with them bringing them to the X-ray and things like this. I loved it. I loved it. And then I went back to the seminary. And then the last year I went as a chaplain. So I finished my seminary education in 1971.
Okay.
And I did my degree. I got my degree in theology from the seminary, Bachelor of Divinity, and then finished in June. And I went back to work in the hospital as a priest until September. Then October I came to Ghana. And I came on the 13th of October, and I've been here ever since.
So just after passing out straight to Ghana? Straight.
I've been here all my life.
I'm thrilled. You have done so well. Because it's not easy leaving your country and settling in another country so well.
Leaving my family.
Yeah.
That's what I found, because we were a very happy family.
What was your parents' reaction when you told them you want to become a priest?
They were happy. They were happy. I'm the only boy, because you see...
They were? They didn't want you to have children?
You see, they were very spiritual, very religious.
So they understood you.
There were four children, but my brother died when he was a baby.
Okay.
And then my mother got sick. She got sick, she was paralyzed.
Okay.
So she never saw me ordained.
Okay.
But she was always praying for me. If this is what God wants, take him.
Yeah.
My father was the same. I didn't know, my father didn't want me to come to Africa, but he never said it.
Yeah.
When he was dying, he told the priest, I never wanted Andrew to go to Africa.
Oh.
But he never objected. He always encouraged me. He used to write twice a week to me in the olden days.
Yeah.
Twice a week, on a Sunday and on a Thursday. We were very close to each other because it was a happy family.
Are they alive or they are dead?
No, my father died of cancer in 1976.
Okay.
He used to smoke.
Oh.
Himself and my auntie, the two of them as young children used to smoke. Both of them died of cancer.
Oh.
So my father died in 76. My mother died in 1965. She was paralyzed.
Oh.
And my brother died as a baby.
Okay.
He was a blue baby. That's, you know, with the blood.
Yeah,
in those
yeah,
days,
yeah.
they didn't have the medication of today.
technology, yeah.
And then my sister, I was just in Ghana. I came to Ghana in October. The following January, that's just 4 months after that, she was coming home with her boyfriend on the back of the motorbike. They were ready to get married. Everything was set for marriage, everything. And they were going through a traffic light and the car came down and knocked her and killed her.
God.
She had a brain hemorrhage and she was killed. So I just have my sister at home. She's married
She's
with
alive?
two children.
Okay.
She's 2 children and they have 2 children.
Okay.
So I'm a grand uncle to all of
yeah.
these. So that's the family. Yes.
So you think it's fun? It's okay.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, I've accepted it with my father. I loved my father. First place I go to when I go home is to the cemetery just to say hi.
Yeah.
Daddy, I'm here, I'm home.
Yeah.
You know, mommy there, because my daddy and mommy and my sister are all buried together. So I go and say hello to them.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Mm.
I don't. You get emotional, and I'm getting emotional too. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, is that the reason why you are so much in love with the underprivileged?
Why am I in love with them? You see, I think I learned from my parents. They were always giving.
Yeah.
My mother would share the last piece of bread with somebody who needs it. She was always sharing and giving. Her whole life was giving.
Yeah.
And she taught me how to give and taught me how to share.
Yeah.
So when I came to Ghana, I mean, this is what a priest should do, because a Catholic priest is ordained to be
Yeah.
another Christ.
Yeah.
And Christ was there to help everybody, to bring dignity, to bring hope, to bring love to everybody. That's what a priest is ordained for. I'm ordained for that. That's my life as a priest, is to share God's word and help people who are in need, spiritually and materially, whatever it is.
Smart people always be different. Smart people dare to be different.
There's this thing I hear you keep saying. It's like your motto.
Yeah,
or your
something
slogan,
beautiful for God. Yes, I got that from Mother Teresa. You see, I saw her once in Rome. I went to a priest retreat and I saw she was small and
Who,
pretty
Mother
old.
Teresa?
Yes,
Okay.
I saw her in Rome.
Do you speak
Beautiful.
any Ghanaian language?
Just
I heard you say Bibio.
Bibio.
You speak Ga?
So she's a small, so I saw her. And I remember when I was ordained a priest in 1971, I saw a program on the television. I never saw or heard of her before. This was 71. This was on Good Friday. On Good Friday.
Yeah.
And after finishing all the service, you know, the Stations of the Cross and the kissing of the Cross, I went and was relaxing. I was in Liverpool at the time. In Liverpool doing...
In England?
In England. I was just there for the Easter services.
Okay.
I volunteered to go and help them in St. Helens in Liverpool. And I watched the program that evening on the television. There was Mother Teresa. I never heard of her before. And she talked all about her life. And she was being interviewed by Malcolm Muggeridge. Malcolm Muggeridge was an atheist. He didn't believe in God. He was a politician and he was also a journalist. So BBC sent him over to India to do a program on her life. And he went there as an atheist. He went with the crew, BBC crew, and on the last day of shooting, they were going to the House of the Dying, and that was an old Hindu temple. It was very dark, and all the people who were dying, they were all inside there. And the TV crew came and told Malcolm Muggeridge, look, our lights are spoiled, and we've no spare. So Malcolm Muggeridge says, take it anyway, just take it. In the dark, and you know, if you take a film in the dark, it won't come on.
Exactly.
But they took it, and he went back to London, and the shots were perfect. So Malcolm Muggeridge said, there's something about this woman.
Yeah.
I'm going back. So he went back on his own, and he stayed with Mother. And he said, Mother, what what are you doing here? She says, I'm doing something beautiful for God.
Oh, okay.
And he stayed with her, and he was converted. He became a Catholic, and his wife became a Catholic,
I see.
and he died as a Catholic. He just fell in love with Mother Teresa and her work, and fell in love with the church. And so she inspires me because
So you got that from her?
I got it from her.
Okay, you know that not even outside in Ghana, I hear some fathers have children, some priests. They have children, but they don't own up. You know, I know it's a very sensitive one, but then it has to be addressed.
Yeah.
I need to know whether it's true or not. Is it possible?
I'm not aware of that. I'm in the Diocese of Accra. I'm not
Okay.
aware of any priest. That I must say. That I'm
Accra,
not.
no.
No, I'm not aware of it in any part of
In
the
Ghana.
But in Accra, I live here, so I'm not involved with other dioceses.
Okay.
So I don't. I mean, I cannot say that. But
Okay.
I can speak for my own diocese. Those whom I'm with,
They are
I haven't
not.
heard anything. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's been nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you promised taking us to some of your sites.
Right. Yes.
So can we move now?
Certainly, yes. I'd
Okay.
be happy to go
All
there.
right.
Thank you.